Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Brittnee, if you don't know me already. Today I'm going to show you how to make a pink and white marbled breakable chocolate heart. These are so fun for Valentine's Day to hide little gifts and treats in and present to somebody that you love. Last year I made a dark chocolate breakable heart with gold and I really loved the design, so if you're interested in watching that video as well, just click this card. To get started with our marbled chocolate heart today, here are the supplies that you'll need. A geometric silicone heart-shaped mold and little wooden hammer to smash your chocolate heart with. This one I ordered from Amazon, came with both of these. Vodka and some cotton pads or balls for cleaning your mold. White and pink candy melts. Or you can use white chocolate and color it yourself, but I'm using candy melts because they're really easy. Silicone or plastic cups or bowls for melting and pouring your chocolate. Food-safe gloves. Sheet tray and parchment paper for easy transport of your heart. A small offset spatula. Some lemon extract, silver powder, and paintbrushes to paint your heart. Now, if you plan on eating the heart, do not use the decorative silver powder. Instead, get edible silver powder. Click the card above to learn more about the difference between the two. And a pretty plate or tray to serve your heart on. Or if you'll be transporting your heart, you might want to use a nice bakery box like this with a window. And you can place your heart inside along with some Easter grass for some nice presentation. And then you can't forget a little gift or treat to put inside and around your heart. I'm going to be using these previously dipped chocolate strawberries. Click the card above to see how I made these. And I'm also going to put inside some of my homemade Valentine's chocolates. And you can click this card above to see how I make these. And just so you know, I have linked all the supplies that I'm using today down in the description box. So to prepare your mold, you want to first make sure you've washed it with hot water and soap. And then once it's dry, you might find like little fuzzies or it might have water spots. And that's where the vodka comes in handy. It will clean the mold to make sure that your chocolate is shiny, as shiny as it can be in this silicone mold. So you're just going to take your cotton and get some vodka on it and make sure to wipe the mold down really well. Make sure you get each of the surfaces and try to remove any fuzz or things that are sticking, because the silicone molds are pretty sticky, so they can get fuzzies or other little fibers on them. So you want to make sure it's nice and clean, and the vodka will evaporate and your mold will be ready to go. And then while I melt my chocolate, I'm going to put my silicone mold on my sheet tray upside down so that it can't collect any little dusts or anything. All right, so I've got my silicone cups and my candy melts, and so you need mostly white and then a pink. And I'm going to use mostly this dark pink and then dumb it down with a little bit of the light pink because this is pretty bold, but I want it to be somewhat bold because when I layer the marble to pour, once I pour it into the mold, it's going to be moving around a lot, and so it's going to eventually get diluted a lot by the white. So I want to start with a pretty strong pink so that by the time I move it around and it gets mixed with white, you can still see that it was pink. So I'm going to use the large cup for pouring, and I'm going to melt the white in the second largest cup. I'm going to fill it all the way to the top. And then I'll put this pink in the small cup. And I'm just going to heat these in the microwave for 20 to 30 seconds at a time, stirring in between until they are smooth. Okay, now, in order to get the marbled heart, I'm going to layer the white and pink chocolate into this one and use this to pour into the mold. So I'm going to start with a good layer of white at the bottom, and then back and forth with the pink, a drizzle, and then a nice drizzle of white and pink, and white again, some more pink, and I'm just kind of going back and forth with the chocolate. Nothing too exact. And maybe a little bit of pink on the top. Okay, and now our chocolate is ready to pour. Okay, so I'll flip my mold over, and then I'm going to take my layered chocolate and pour it into the whole bottom of the mold. And then I'm going to swirl it around and coat the whole mold. And with this design, I've way overfilled it just because I want to make sure the pattern of the marble gets on all the edges. And I don't want to swirl this one around too much because I don't want the colors to blend. So I quickly give it a first coat, and then I'm going to flip it upside down and pour out the extra chocolate. I'm going to let that sit for just a second. And if you have a second sheet tray, that's helpful to pick up the mold, give it a little shake to get any extra chocolate, and then flip it over. You can put the extra away and take your small offset spatula and scrape the sides clean. Then put the whole thing in the fridge to set up. This will be the first coat. Now while your first coat is setting up in the fridge, you'll take your excess chocolate that we dumped out, and you can move it into the silicone cup because we will reuse this for the second coat. I'm just folding this in half, and I'm going to squeeze it into the cup. And if this needs rewarming, once our heart is ready for the second coat, we will do it right beforehand. Okay, so the heart has been in the fridge for about 25 minutes and it's nice and firm and chilled. Now my chocolate is rewarmed, and I'm just going, because this has pooled in the bottom, I can tell it's pretty thick. Because as it sets in the fridge, it kind of falls to the middle. I'm going to just focus the second coat on the top edge and down the middle of this heart right here, this corner, because it can tend to break in that spot. So I'm basically just going to take my glove and add chocolate around the top edge and sides. You can pour a little in and then just move it around. I like using the glove because it's pretty easy to control where the chocolate goes. And then I wipe the excess chocolate off along the edge, and it adds chocolate on that top edge to make sure there's enough. And then before it gets too hard, you want to scrape it clean. You don't want to wait till it sets up too hard or else it might break the heart. And then, like I mentioned, I'm just going to put extra chocolate down this corner. The reason I put it in the fridge for the first coat instead of the freezer is that if it gets too cold, then the second coat hardens really quick, and it's just easier to work with it semi-cold instead of super cold. But for the second coat, once I'm done with this, I'm going to put it into the freezer to get it really, really cold because it's easier to demold that way. So I think that I have plenty of chocolate in the bottom because of the pooling, and the sides and top edge look really sturdy and strong. So I think I am finished with the second coat. So because I'm putting it in the freezer, sometimes there's a lot of moisture in there. So in order to protect the chocolate from getting moisture and ruining it, I'm just going to put a layer of plastic wrap over top and put it in the freezer. Okay, so this has been in the freezer for about 15 minutes and it should be nice and cold, ready to unmold. I'm getting my gloves on. Okay, take off the plastic. And the first thing is to release the edges. So I'm just going around the mold, peeling the edges off like this. And then going around a second time and going a little deeper. You'll feel on your hands the mold releasing from the chocolate. At that point, it's pretty loose, so you can flip it upside down and gently press the top like that. Ooh, the marble turned out really good. It's kind of variable. They look different every time, so it's kind of fun. I mean, there's a lot of white right here and lots of pink here swirled, but to me it looks really cool. So I'm going to decorate it with some silver paint. So to mix the silver paint, I just take a couple drops of lemon extract and then take my silver powder and mix the two together. And this little paint palette helps. I'll link it down below. I use it all the time. And like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, if you're not planning to eat this chocolate that comes from the heart, the broken heart, you can use a decorative metallic paint, and they're always a lot more metallic. They look a lot better, so I use it when I can because this silver is so pretty. But if you want to be able to eat the chocolate, then you should use an edible paint. And I'll link that video down below where you can get more information about what brands are edible. I have a whole video on that. So then for me, I'm just going to follow the marbled effect with a little paintbrush just to add something a little extra. All right, so my heart is all painted. As you can see, it's very shiny. And I'm going to plate it on this nice oval plate. So I'm going to stack some chocolates inside. Then I'm going to place the heart over top like this. And don't forget to place the hammer. And then I have some strawberries to add as well. All right, our beautiful chocolate box is finished and all decorated. Now it's time for the fun part. Let's smash it open and see what's inside. I hope that you enjoyed this video today and that you learned something new. If you liked it, please give it a like down below. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, then today's the day. And if you'd like to see how to make chocolate dipped strawberries, just click on this video. If you'd like to see homemade Valentine's Day chocolates with cute little wrappers, go ahead and click on this video. Thank you so much for watching today, and I'll see you soon. Bye.